Hi everyone, this is Mari Craig, and you're listening to the Small Steps to Wellness show, a podcast where we discuss how we can achieve more wellness in our lives one small step at a time. For the past 6 odd years, I've taken a special interest in nutrition and I've changed the diet of my family on its head. But as I've dived deeper into the world of nutrition, I have learned that health is so much more than just what we put on our plate. This is why on this podcast we will be talking nutrition, mental health, being in alignment, holistic health care, self care, raising children, and more. We will also be hearing stories of women's journeys to overcome trauma and what it has taught them on the way. When we share our stories, we realize we are not alone and that things can change for the better. I'm so glad to have you with me on this journey as I explore what health and wellness truly encompass. If you like what you're hearing, please consider rating the show with a 5-star rating and sharing it with your friends. It really makes a big difference. Now, on with today's show.
Hello and welcome to the Small Steps to Wellness show with me, your host, Mari Craig, where I normally have a guest with me to talk about how we can achieve more wellness in our lives, one small step at a time. But today it is just me, and this is a bite-sized episode where I will talk a little bit about foods to include in your diet because they may have beneficial nutrients for your mental health. You may have listened to my mental health episode a couple of weeks ago where I had a few guests on talking about their experiences, either looking after somebody or dealing with their different mental health struggles. Now, what I need to say first is obviously that food has a role to play, but it's not necessarily one of those quick fixes or something you should do instead of anything else. But food does have a role to play when it comes to mental health. So I'm going to just go through some foods. This is not the complete list. There's loads more, but I just wanted to mention some key ingredients that you could potentially use to make yourself some nice foods. The first thing to say about anything that we eat is that we should aim to balance the macronutrients. Because when a diet is unbalanced with regards to these macronutrients, and especially when it is high in starchy carbohydrates, it could lead to a blood sugar imbalance. The blood sugar will be high straight after a meal, and you may actually feel that you have more energy or you might be in a better mood straight after eating. But then the blood sugar will dip shortly after, which can lead not only to a feeling of hunger again, but also bad moods. You know, the whole hungry feeling. The amount of starchy carbohydrates in a person's diet compared to protein, fat, and fiber means that the food eaten gets converted into glucose in the body a bit too quickly, which, you know, once in a while isn't the end of the world, but over a period of time, it can lead to the development of insulin resistance. This is linked to systemic inflammation, which over time is thought to cause changes to neurotransmitters, which again can lead to depression. Studies do show that there are associations between increased inflammatory activation of the immune system and the development of depression. There was a case study that I looked at a while back from 2016, and that actually shows that when a diet high in starchy carbohydrates had fat, protein, and fiber added to it, the symptoms of anxiety substantially decreased. So you see the balance of your macros is important. Now, gut health and mental health go hand in hand. If you ensure a good intake of fiber from a variety of plants in your diet, you will help feed the different gut bacteria. And a rich gut flora is helpful when it comes to breaking down food and releasing its nutrients into the bloodstream. Adequate fiber intake obviously also helps with digestion, and having good functioning bowels that empty regularly will no doubt have a positive impact on a person's mood as well. So that's that with regards to sort of general advice on how to eat and what to eat. Now, foods such as brown rice, oats, barley, quinoa, multigrain breads, lentils, yeast extract even, and more, they're high in vitamin Bs. Vitamin Bs play a large role in neurological health. Vitamin B1, for example, which is often called thiamine, is involved with turning glucose into energy. If you have low levels of B1, you can often feel tired and sluggish, as well as mentally tired. So therefore, adding foods such as seeds and whole grains to your meals will be beneficial. And oats also contain something called beta-glucan, which is great for your gut. Dark berries, they're full of something called flavonoids, and they have a positive effect on the cardiovascular system through the production of something called nitric oxide, which flavonoids help stimulate. The blood vessels relax and widen, which means that blood circulation to the peripheries is enhanced, which again means an improved blood flow to the brain. Studies have also shown an association between flavonoid intake and a lowered risk of depression. Berries will have a positive impact on the gut bacteria. And if we optimize the gut environment, we can help optimize the brain environment in return. Finally, dark berries can have a positive impact on cognition, which is important as we grow older. In our house, we used to call blueberries memory berries to kind of remind ourselves why it is so important to have dark berries on our plate. Almonds, they're another really great food. They are fantastic. They provide, loads of things, but amongst other things, they provide zinc and magnesium on a micronutrient level, and obviously fats and protein on a macronutrient level. Now, zinc is highly concentrated in the brain, especially in the hippocampus, which is the region in the brain that is primarily associated with memory. It helps maintain the blood-brain barrier. It modulates aspects of stress response. It plays a role in neurological communication, and it is the cofactor for hundreds of enzymatic reactions. In other words, we need to ensure we get zinc into our diet. I've read a review from 2018, and that speculates that zinc is beneficial against depression because there is anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And previous studies have also shown that a zinc supplementation decreases CRP levels in humans. And furthermore, that increased CRP levels previously have been associated with depression. So, zinc is a no-brainer. Magnesium, which you also find in almonds, can help regulate blood sugar levels, and it can help maintain a healthy blood pressure. It is also involved in the regulation of insulin signaling, and a deficiency in magnesium in the body can worsen insulin resistance. Magnesium also plays an important role when it comes to the nervous system because it has a relaxing effect on it. And it can also help relax the muscles in the body. So therefore, adding more magnesium-rich food to the diet can show great benefits. And on the note of relaxing muscles, you've probably seen all these magnesium creams and things like that you can obviously add topically to your body to help your muscles relax. I wanted to finally talk a little bit about tuna. Obviously there are other foods that are available, but tuna is a good source of tryptophan. If you're not keen on tuna, look up tryptophan and see what other foods contain tryptophan, because tryptophan is an essential amino acid, and essential means that we have to add it to our diet because the body can't produce it itself. It is the precursor to serotonin, a neurotransmitter which is involved in how we feel, and that is often referred to as the happiness hormone or chemical. And serotonin, he helps keep our mood stable. It regulates our appetite and sleep patterns. Serotonin is also the precursor to melatonin, which you've probably heard of. It is the neurotransmitter involved with sleep. A lack in serotonin can therefore also have a negative effect on sleep, which I reckon is further going to worsen your mood. The gut bacteria in our intestines play a role in the conversion process of tryptophan. And they do that by taking the food we eat and breaking it down into smaller pieces, amongst other things, tryptophan. But if we don't have enough good gut bacteria that can help break down the food, so we can use tryptophan to build serotonin, things start getting tricky for us. So therefore, a varied diet with a lot of fruit and vegetables, which a good bacteria can feed off of, will have to go hand in hand with tryptophan-rich food. For tryptophan to cross the blood-brain barrier and get converted, it needs a slight insulin spike, and therefore it should be eaten with a good source of carbohydrate. So I think maybe tuna with sweet potato wedges as an option. So those are some of the foods that can be really good to incorporate into your diet in order to support you on your mental health journey. As I said earlier, this is not a complete list by any means, but maybe you have some a little bit of inspiration for some things you can make. So how about this, for example, overnight oats? Okay, add your dark berries to them, add your almonds to them, or even drizzle almond butter on top. You know, that's your fantastic breakfast sorted. You can add Greek yogurt to it, full fat Greek yogurt for a bit of extra protein and fats and some B12 in there. And for even lunch or dinner, tuna, sweet potato wedges, and loads of fruits and vegetables on the side. I have a 1-day meal plan that looks into a bit more detail and the benefits of the different foods. So if you're interested in getting your hands on that, do let me know and I'll send it across to you. Right, so I think I'm going to stop there and leave you with this. Food, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to anything, has a role to play. Sometimes it makes a huge difference, sometimes it makes a small difference. But I reckon if we start cooking a bit more from scratch and look at sort of adding a few key nutrients into our daily lives, then I think it can be a really great, a beneficial sort of tool on our mental health journey. You've been listening to the Small Steps to Wellness show with Mari Craig. I am passionate about helping mums get their energy back through simple nutritional changes, because we know that if mummy is happy, the family is happy. If you would like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram under @smallstepstowellness, or visit my website smallstepstowellness.info. Speak to you soon.